99% of the tokens that you see in the market, there is a term for that, and that's called shit coins. Don't buy Polygon tokens because maybe it has not been able to prove itself fully, right? 70-80% of the user activity will move out of Ethereum main chain. My financial situation did not allow me to take that risk, but my wife, that time my partner or girlfriend, you can say, she said that go all out and do what you want to do. I mean, from there onwards, I did not look back. We Indian people are already very hardworking, I would say, and then we just use our strength to our advantage.
Have you ever wondered how a boy from a small town in India became one of the first crypto billionaires and with his team built one of the biggest blockchain projects, Polygon? Today, me and my friends have brought you the inspiring Web3 wisdom of Mr. Sandeep Nailwal ji. No matter if you're a beginner, expert, student, entrepreneur, or just a Web3 enthusiast, you are going to enjoy every minute of this video because he shared true knowledge bomb on topics like how starting from zero you can build a good Web3 career and future of crypto, Polygon, Web3 mass adoption, especially for entrepreneurs, the roadmap to build a successful project like Polygon, and also discuss the dark side of crypto and many hidden gems that you will find yourself. Enough talking, now let's get started.
Starting from being a software engineer to becoming a consultant at Deloitte, and then moving on to blockchain and then Polygon. How was this journey? Take us through this journey.
Very early days, I've been always interested in entrepreneurship, and during my 4th year of engineering itself, I had a small startup. After that, I tried my hand at multiple different startups, tech and non-tech also. And but many of them were like kind of part-time startups. But after that, I realized that part-time won't work, right? So I have to go all in, and the kind of background I was coming from, my financial situation did not allow me to take that risk, but my wife, that time my partner or girlfriend, you can say, she said that go all out and do what you want to do. And from there onwards, I did not look back. I immediately put resignation in my existing company, and I started one startup which I was able to quickly raise seed funding for. And there was a B2B startup. I did it for quite some time, but it was not scaling as I would have liked because it became very people intensive, and I wanted to explore something into the deep tech space. And that's when I started exploring more about the artificial intelligence and blockchain and all that, and stumbled onto blockchain. And then, once you understand what blockchain is, then there is no going back. We call it the rabbit hole. So there's no going back from that rabbit hole.
You spoke about your entrepreneurial journey and starting in the company, your first company, then going into deep tech. I'd love to know what are some of the biggest lessons you've learned, from your first company, from going from the corporate world, for someone that is perhaps starting out and wants to build a technology company but hasn't even been in technology, for example?
I think it's all about what you are as a person, right? I think for me, it was very clear from very early stage that I am not cut out for a corporate job.
Yes.
I actually never really took an appraisal. I did one job, and then by the time I could get into an appraisal cycle, I would move on to something else because I did not like
Yes.
the job. And eventually I landed a very good role, a CTO and kind of leadership role, which I was enjoying, but I still was not 100% happy, right? So I think it's all about, so defining success, right?
Yes.
So success, according to me, is if you are doing what you want to do,
Yeah.
whether you are a, beggar or a, kind of a sannyasi in
Yes.
India, like yogi or like a monk or a kind of or a businessman,
Yeah.
as far as you feel that you always wanted to do that and you wanted to do that, then you are successful. But if you are doing something which is under the society's pressure or under your own mental prison that, oh, no, I can't take this risk, I have this, I have stability and all these kind of, these worldly constructs, if you are bounded by them, then you are a failure, right? So understand where you are. If you are into, like, you don't want to, you want to have a stable 9 to 5 job, and then you want to live your life after that, you want to take, weekends as like, complete off and want to go on 10-day holiday and all that, then it's perfectly fine. Like job is also a great thing.
Yeah.
Right. So, so in my case, for example, I was very clear that when I want to do a startup, I want to do a big startup. I don't want to do I was not doing startup and I don't want to be hypocritical about it, right?
Yeah.
That I'm doing it for being self-sufficient and all those kind of things people talk about, right? I was very clear that if I am doing a startup, it has to be big.
Yes.
If it is not going big, I would actually not do a startup for a smaller business. I will not do, because it's too hard. Like doing a business is very, very hard. It sucks the blood out of you or life out of you in that sense. So need to understand yourself more clearly. One hack I keep giving to people is that it's very hard in life. Like everybody keeps saying that, I don't know what I want in life and all that. You don't know because it's very, very difficult to understand what you want in life. But an easier way to do is, and you can very easily understand what you don't want to do in life. You can ask that question yourself. Your mind will answer you very clearly that I don't want to do this. What I want to do, maybe, I don't know, because there are 100,000 things in the world that might be interesting to you, right? Or your calling might be amongst those 100,000 things. But the thing that you are doing, you can very easily evaluate whether this is something I want to do or not. And if the answer is no, then you have to keep looking. I think Steve Jobs in that famous, quote also said that never settle, keep, looking or something like that. That I think is the exact same thing. Saying.
Well, can I just ask, what let you know that this was the thing because you did a couple of things and then you came to this, you started your first startup. What let you know that this was the big thing, this is what I'm meant to do, this was my love?
So see, it was clear alignment with my goal. My goal was, if I want to do a startup, I want to do a big one. The previous one was not scaling. I could clearly see that I would make very good money with this, but this will not be what I want to do, right? And when I started reading about blockchains, right, I could clearly see that this is a technology which, there is no way that humanity is not going to move towards this technology. Like, where we have open, transparent, and community participations in the businesses, and everybody has skin in the game and benefits out of it. There is absolutely, like, human beings has to go there. Humanity has to evolve into that. And it was very clear that this is going to be big, and that's what I was looking at.
So Sandeep ji, you are a huge inspiration for me and the whole Indian crypto community. So my question is for someone who is in a village of India, जिसका आपने नाम भी नहीं सुना, and he have a big dream just by seeing you, inspired by you. They know right now that you put India on the world map of cryptocurrencies. They know that they can build something big like you and your team did. So how they can get started? The big question is that.
I mean, it depends on which sector they want to participate in and whatever they are doing. If let's say they are into cryptocurrencies, first of all, like, cryptocurrency is the biggest misnomer, right? Like currency, like crypto, the short form of, like, when we say crypto, the full form is not cryptocurrency. The full form is cryptography based technology. Currency as Bitcoin was the first use case. But the Web3 is much, much, much bigger than currency. It's like the internet, right? Just like a shared community owned internet. Okay. So there, I think the community is the most important part. Like, whether you are a tech person or a non-tech person, you need to understand the community ethos. You need to become part of the community. So, if you are, let's say, studying finance, right, and you are, let's say, in a tier 2 city in India, doesn't matter. You can get into DeFi, right, and then start going through what are the top 5 protocols that you can find. It should be easy to find. Top 5 DeFi protocols. Start joining their Discord group. Try to do something where you become an important, not important, but you become some voice there. Like, and always the way to kind of get some recognition or become a leader, is the easiest hack to become a leader in the world is take some responsibility. Like, if there is some task that the community wants to give, take the responsibility, do it for free. 2-3 times you do it, everybody will start following you. That's the easiest way. So, to answer your question, take responsibility on something. That this I will do. Okay, I will educate everybody in my native language about Web3. Cryptocurrency everybody keeps talking about, but about Web3, right? Similarly, in those communities you can join and say, that I will analyze whatever is happening in our community every week, and I will put a 1 paragraph shortcut note on that, right? Everybody will appreciate that, because only that immediately you will see after 1 or 2 iterations, even the team will start putting it in their announcement channel, that community update, and you will become famous in that community. So, and then I also say that, let's say, 50, 60 years back when manufacturing was very big, right? So the plant managers or the people who used to run the manufacturing, they became the company CEOs. Then, when it became very standardized, then the CFOs, like people who could run the finance effectively, working capital, etc., they started becoming CEOs. Then the global age came and sales and marketing people started becoming CEOs. But in crypto, the community people will become CEOs, right? People who know the community, who understands the community and can build a reputation within a community, they will be the CEOs and leaders in that industry. So, and for that, you don't need any tech knowledge, right? So, and that's the basics. If you don't understand that part, you will not be able to do big in the crypto space. So that would be my biggest suggestion. Go and become part of community. If you are learning finance, you are doing BCom or something in finance, go for DeFi because they really understand a bit of things. If you are a gamer, if you are not studying anything and you are the whole day on your phone, maybe become a part of play to earn communities. People in Philippines made thousands of dollars a month and paid their student loans, paid their or bought bike and cars for them by doing that, and that is going to be very big in India also, right? The play to earn is coming to India, and maybe you can make your place over there. And if you are in tech, then go and again become part of open source communities.
So in short, just be part of community and take responsibilities and keep learning about it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like for example, my co-founder Jayanti also, right? So he was building. He was a programmer, so he started, he built a small software for his application, for his company, for his whatever startup he was building, right? And then he made it free for everyone. He said, okay, anybody can use it, right? And then people whenever, few people saw that project and they started using it. That's why I'm saying, start contributing, start giving, and you will start receiving eventually, right?
So thank you so much for watching till here. Because of technical issues, the next question asked by my friend Nasser was not recorded. So the question he asked to Sandeep ji was that today everyone knows about Polygon. What is the biggest strength of Polygon that set it apart from others?
I think our strength has been very clearly our focus on adoption. The time when we started in 2017-18, that was a time when everybody was raising, large amount of funds by just having white papers, like some, air castles, building some air castles and doing the token, all that. So we used to detest that part of the industry. And I think that helped us to have our vision very clearly, that we were very clear that we want to build something which gets used by the masses. We don't want to build stuff which nobody uses, but it's some high fancy technical stuff, right? And due to that, we were able to build it in a way which was very developer friendly, user friendly, and then we had a huge amount of our team. I was very lucky to get some very driven people who actually believe in the vision of Polygon in terms of mass adoption and who work day in, day out to get Polygon to the masses, like to the developers who are building products for the masses. And that is why I think this is the reason why you see Polygon everywhere. Like everybody is, asks us that, how come you guys are everywhere, right? So, and we Indian people are already very hardworking, I would say. And then, we just use our strength to our advantage. We work like crazy hours, every one of us, because we are having fun in doing that.
My friend asked, you talked about Air Castle. It is one of the biggest criticism of crypto space. What are your thoughts?
It is absolutely right criticism that there are a lot of projects which simply, because the people want to do token, because token is a very interesting thing for everyone. Everybody wants to do token. They think that, once I launch the token, it will go to millions, I will make millions and all that. But I think now, the free markets evolve it in a way where this, kind of bad elements of the system get weeded out eventually, right? So I think the crypto markets are already reaching that place where where these kind of projects, the people who could have built on Web 2 and just for the sake of launching a token are doing it in Web 3 or crypto, are becoming less and less in number. But definitely there is still a lot of scam. Like that's why I keep telling everyone that 99% of the tokens that you see in the market, like there is a term for that, and that's called shit coins, right? Do not invest in them. Like if you don't understand about crypto, do not go beyond top 15 projects, right? Polygon is actually 15 or 16. So if Polygon is not in 15, don't invest in it. Don't buy Polygon tokens because maybe it has not been able to prove itself fully, right? Any project which is not there at the top and has been sustainably there for the top has not been able to prove itself. Maybe, take 20 because Polygon is fine. But we generally are in 15. But I'm saying that if the project is consistently not there, it's most likely a scam. Like even some of the projects stay there for maybe 6 months and then they will suddenly fall apart because that's when their hype cycle, like Ponzi scheme, gets over, right? So be very careful when you're doing, and criticism is very right. There are a lot of projects like that. But having said that, I don't know how many of the viewers would be like, I am in 1987 born, right? We used to have a small show in our childhood. It's called Small Wonder. Small Wonder, where the Jamie and then the Vicky was there, right? Vicky was a AI sister, AI robot, right? So think like from 1993-94, people have been talking about AI. But even now, AI is not in our lives in that big way. Like it's still being used in, let's say, machine learning and all that is being used. But it took 20 years to reach that point. It's same with a lot of things in crypto also, right? Where it's very clear that how crypto is going to add value. It's very clear how Web3 is going to make it much more transparent and much more user ownership driven economies. Like creator economies and all those things that we talk about, that we like, for example, your YouTube handle is not your handle. It's custodied by YouTube on your behalf. You can be anytime deplatformed if YouTube doesn't want it, right? So you really don't own them. But eventually the system has to evolve in a way where when you have a channel, you cryptographically and truly own this, right? And your users, you truly own your users. Ideally, you should be in a position where you say, oh, YouTube is not giving me good services, it has downtime and all that, I don't want to be on YouTube. You take all your followers to somewhere else. That's the power as a creator you should have, right? Because you are bringing many of those users. Of course, some of the users YouTube is bringing, but it's fine. Like, those users can be YouTube users. But some of the users you are bringing for the first time, maybe from Facebook. They are coming and watching your videos only, right? So point being that this ownership-driven economy and more transparent and accountable economy is the future. It's going to happen. It might take time. Right now, we might not have the best solutions with us, but we are moving towards there and we are going to be there.
Now my friend Fernanda asked really interesting question. Sandeep ji, you are talking about the mass adoption, but how practically crypto technology is going to reach masses in emerging countries like Mexico, Argentina, Brazil?
It is always said that education is very important part, but I think, you need to first get the masses on board. See, that's what happened in Philippines and Vietnam. I keep going back to that example, that you build a game which brought a lot of people onto the game. Now, when the people came in, then they are looking for education. So, but the real pull will be done by some application. Some applications, some games, some interesting, fun things have to be built which attracts people towards them. Once people starts coming to them, then they start thinking, okay, how do you do this? Like, for example, that's why, this token and investment and these things have been good for the industry, because investment and money making is the most kind of lucrative use case which attracts everyone. So people started coming with this. So in a way, it has been good for the community. It attracted a lot of eyeballs towards crypto, right? It attracted a lot of talent also. Like today, if you go, the most talented people in universities, in big colleges, in big cities and all that, everybody is looking to do something or the other in crypto. And when you have this much brain power going into one particular industry, there is no way that industry is not going to be Very, very big.
You've mentioned in the past, like there's been a lot of shitcoins been created, and anyone and their dog in the past has been able to kind of create something. What I loved is you've talked about how when you guys wanted to create Polygon, you wanted a solid foundation, you wanted mass adoption, you wanted to create something that was going to sustain long term. What would you say are the foundations for creating something solid long term? What should someone look at? Like, let's say we're creating a learn to earn project or something along those lines. What are some of the things that we should be looking at to enable a long-term successful use?
First the tech, you need to have solid tech foundation, because if you are building a product and the moment you start attracting users and it falls apart, it's not good. Apart from the tech, you need to have community, strong community, which you can start building the community even before the product is there.
Yeah.
Right? So because you can tell about your vision and everything up to the community will come and many people would be, aligned with your vision. So community, then business development, right? You need to be sure that how, or the go-to market, you can say, that how you will take your product to the market, right? And then, the mechanism at least to take it to the market. And then finally, the most important thing is the product market fit. So once you have the tech and the basic community there and you can test out your product, you have to do multiple iterations to find the product market fit, where people are actually willing to use some product.
Yeah.
There is actually a need, because you might have an amazing tech, amazing community, but what you are building, people don't want to use it.
Yeah.
Right? So you need to have these 2-3 things plus the product market fit. That is the basic foundation.
Excellent.
So in case of Polygon, for example, the product market fit was very clear that Ethereum, the gas fees have become very, very high.
Yes.
So there was, an immediate need of fairly production ready and secured smart contract platform.
So one of the most asked question I ever got. So I want to just ask to founder itself, how E 2.0 is going to impact Polygon. Sorry for disturbing, but quick disclaimer, this video was recorded in March 2020. At that time, Ethereum merge has not happened. Still, especially the Polygon investors should listen to the answer of Mr. Sandeep ji.
So ETH 2.0, the people who understand ETH 2.0 and layer 2s, they know that ETH 2.0 is going to positively impact layer 2. Why? See, even first of all, nobody is clear that ETH 2.0 is going to come in its full glory. ETH 2.0 means 64 shards. Okay, it's very difficult right now. What is happening is the Ethereum is going from proof of stake. This first chain is going from proof of stake to proof of work to proof of stake. Okay, now already this is a complicated task, but let's assume that in 3 to 5 years we'll have all 64 shards of this. Right, this one chain has the transaction capacity of currently 13 to 15 TPS. With proof of stake, maybe it will go to 20 TPS. Okay, 20 TPS multiplied by 64, 1200 TPS. Right. So, do you think that this whole world coming into Web3, only 1200 TPS is good enough?
No.
Not, right? So, the applications, this is basically scaling of the settlement layer. How we think of this word is, there will be this, Ethereum would be that global settlement layer, value settlement layer, where everybody settles their value into. But on top of that, you will have this transaction layer, which Polygon is building, where applications will be there. You as a user will not be going into the settlement layer, because that will be very strong, decentralized, but costly also. So you will have applications settling into it, or the chain settling into it. So I also say that Ethereum is going from a user to chain model to a chain to chain model, where only chains will interact, like Polygon type chains will interact with layer 1, they will settle, they will derive their security from there, but the users will only be interacting on layer 2. I think in 12 to 18 months, you will see that happening a lot, like maybe 70-80% of the user activity will move out of Ethereum main chain.
What do you see as kind of the strongest use case for Web3 versus Web2? Like what's the biggest advantage that people should actually be using Web3 for?
Absolutely. So currently there are few use cases which are already have achieved some sort of product market fit. You have those art NFTs, like art, profile pictures and all that. Those are kind of bragging rights. Like you might have heard that, oh, that Bored Ape, I can just click and download. Why do I need to buy that $100,000 NFT? But that you can also do with Mona Lisa picture, right? You can download Mona Lisa picture, but that doesn't mean that you own Mona Lisa's picture, right? So that Bored Ape, you owning that actually gives you that real ownership of that particular art piece, right? Nobody can take that away from you. So that art, is there. Then you have gaming, which is already becoming very, very big. And now I can tell you that the biggest of the biggest and the smallest of the smallest gaming studios are building Web3 games. In next 18 months, market will be flooded with these ones, right? But of course, like I'm not saying all of them have actually figured out the business model, but pretty sure, just like Axie did, one of them will be able to crack the business model, will go very big in terms of the revenue and everything, and then everybody will keep following that playbook, right? That's what happens in gaming. Like free to play model, one guy came in, one guy showed that model, everybody used the same model. It is going to happen in gaming also. Then the third and fourth kind of things that are going to be very critical is, one is brand and sports entertainment, right? Those, because people want to interact and engage with the celebrities that they love, right? So that brands, sports, celebrities, that segment in NFTs have not picked up. I believe that there is a product market fit for that section of NFTs also that will come. Then creator economies, right? There have been multiple models that have been discussed wherein you as a creator directly interact with your community. You as a creator or your channel becomes a company which can be owned by your user also in some form, where users can vote for them. Then they become your co-founders in some form, right? Of course, you will not give all the decisions to them, but you as a leader of that channel, you can actually show them the content initially, do multiple surveys with them. You can have those, kind of cross border, which today you can't build those kind of payment models within Web 2, right? How do I withdraw? Like if let's say you build this model like this, where your YouTube channel had a system where users can become your partners, and then you can ask them some questions, or you can ask them to do the marketing for you, and then they also receive some part of your income, right? I don't think these Web 2 platforms have been able to build. Even if they build, the users might not be able to trust them, because again, see, this is a small incremental advantage. But if you see, for example, some of the countries, where let's say there is dictatorship, if you go to those countries, right, or kingdoms, let's say for example, if you go to those countries, people are still okay there, people are living their lives, but you will say, okay, in a free country, what extra I am getting, right? But that extra part where you have freedom to do anything that you want, right? Those 10% of the things are not off your table is a very big thing, where human beings have, fought for tens of years, and hundreds and thousands of, millions of people have been killed to get that freedom, right? This, even if let's say some Web 2 platform is able to build, YouTube comes up with this feature where you can own, some part of this thing and all that, but the very feeling that something can be censored over here, something, people can be dismantled off their platform and all that, will always deter people. And you also think that, imagine you had a YouTube-like platform which offered exactly same features as you as a creator. And this I should have said in the NAS summit also. This is a very good comparison, right? Imagine you had a YouTube-like system where users were there and you had full ownership of your channel. Everything was there. Then would you choose the old YouTube or new YouTube? Ask yourself the question, right? Yeah. If imagine ceteris paribus means like everything else is the same. I am pretty sure you as a creator would choose where you have more autonomy, more ownership, right, in the platform. And in the platform growth of YouTube itself, like YouTube, for example, some of the creators like you would have added millions and probably billions of dollars in value to YouTube, right? Many of the big creators. YouTube has been built by creators only. But how much part of YouTube they own? Yeah. By doing that? There's none, right? This is where this changes. And like that's why I'm saying some people might be skeptical that, you know, what is the value it is being added? It can be done in Web 2 also. But this slight incremental advantage where you have freedom, where you cannot be deplatformed, you are the owner of your own destiny. This slight, you know, small this thing have changed the course of humanity multiple times whenever there was extra freedom on offer. Because fundamentally we all want freedom and independence, right? And we all know, you know, some of those cases where some particular gamer, think of it in the case of a gamers. There was one gamer which invested huge amount of time in a particular game. He was playing that game for probably like 8 years or maybe less than that, maybe 3-4 years. And he had like probably $1 million worth of virtual assets in the game. And then he said something against, you know, like I don't want to name, but he said something against a particular protest he supported some particular protest that was happening in one country. And then that the other country with against whom the protests were happening, they got the game to ban this user. And immediately he lost his 5 years of work on that. Imagine that same thing when that happens to a creator, right? Where you just expressed your, you know, political, let's say, views on something, and you got deplatformed. If Donald Trump can get deplatformed, you can get deplatformed, right? Then you lost your like 5 years of you built that 1 million, 2 million, 5 million subscribers, and you're gone.
So you've always been an inspiration for the entire Indian crowd. 2 words for the Indian crowd, for the people who are aspiring to be in crypto, who want to do something big, just like you said कि करना है तो कुछ बड़ा ही करना है, छोटे से तो कुछ करना ही नहीं है. तो ऐसे लोग जो इंडिया में हैं उनको अपनी मातृभाषा में कुछ ऐसा दीजिए कि वो पूरे मोटिवेट हो जाएं.
It's very simple. Let's make India a Web3 superpower. There is no way we should not be a superpower in Web3. We are a software superpower, we should be a Web3 superpower also.
Have you listened? Together we have to make India Web3 superpower. No matter what, I will do my best by creating easy and fun Web3 content that can inspire next generation Web3 leaders. Now it's your job to share this video and help your friend. If you are still watching, man, I respect your hunger of knowledge and dedication. Comment code superpower so that I can know that you watched till here and I can give you a huge thank you in reply. Special thanks to my friends Yashika, Nasir, Hamza, Munir, Ria and Fernanda for their amazing questions and company. Keep learning, keep growing और करते हो क्रिप्टो और ब्लॉकचेन से प्यार तो सब्सक्राइब करो मेरे यार. फिर मिलेंगे जल्दी एक नई वीडियो में. बेल आइकन जरूर दबाइएगा.